My name is Lindsay, and I will say this right away, I really love school, and not only because I'm interested in learning new things, but also because I see my friends at school, and we have fun, and we joke a lot, and chat about everything we can think of. School was my favorite place until one terrible situation happened, and I will tell you about it now. I am 17 years old, and I'm a senior. My parents sent me to school early because from my childhood, I was a very smart kid, and at the age of 5 and by the age of 5, I knew the alphabet and could count. Learning was really easy for me, and I was aiming at a 4.0 GPA confidently. For me, it became a kind of a goal because I really wanted to receive a reward for my work. I studied, learned the languages, took extra classes, and was the first in my class. A photo of me hung among other high school students on the wall of honor. Everything was perfect until a very new student came to our class. Lily came to our city from New York, and she immediately attracted a lot of attention. She was a city girl, very fashionable and beautiful. She seemed to have stepped off the covers of fashion magazines. Lily was that perfect. At first, Lily was quiet and did all the assignments diligently and answered only when she was asked to, and was not really friends with anyone. It seemed that a very shy girl was hiding behind her bright appearance. Our class and teachers supported the new girl in every possible way, trying to make her fit into the team and not feel like a stranger. A few weeks later, Lily felt more confident and became more active in classes, and she became friends with other guys. Lily and I did not become good friends. Our communication was limited only to the greetings, but something suggested that my new classmate would still show her true face. It all started with the math competition. It was my favorite subject, and I enjoyed preparing for it. All my past years, I've represented the school in competitions and Olympiads, and I won all the prizes. This year would have been no exception if not for Lily. Our teacher, Mrs. Johnson, made the roll call as usual and joyfully announced the date of the Olympiad. Someone clapped and someone defiantly rolled their eyes. Mrs. Johnson asked loudly who would be participating. Everyone turned in my direction. They already knew the answer, and I happily raised my hand. And when suddenly I heard Lily's voice behind me, who also expressed a desire to participate. The class gasped in surprise because every year there were no other applicants except me. I turned around and saw Lily grinning and realized that by doing so she was challenging me. For some reason, the teacher was pleased with this outcome and happily wrote down a new participant in the notebook. Since then, Lily and I began the Cold War. At first, she pretended that she could not see well and asked to sit in my seat in the front row. The teacher allowed her to do it. Then she invited everyone on her birthday at a local cafe, and from the whole class, I was the only one who was not invited. Well, the last straw was meant that Lily began to spend more time with my close friends, and worst of all, they liked to spend time with her. I felt so betrayed. It seemed to me that the whole class was against me, and that from a popular and excellent student, I gradually was turning into a loser. The only thing I had in my hands was a possible victory in the Olympiad, and I diligently prepared for math, reading and solving exercises for days. A week before the test, I, as usual, came and laid everything out on my desk. My classmates were gradually filling the room, and the teacher came in. The bell rang and the roll call began. Calling my last name, the teacher said loudly with a smirk, "Oh, Miss Lindsay, are you in class too? Doesn't losing the crown upset you much? You see, there are people who are smarter and better than you. Don't be arrogant, my dear." I was so lost. The whole class turned to look at me, and those guys whom I called my friends and whom I always helped just laughed in my face. But the most important and annoying thing was that there she was, a happy Lily, who was smiling at me. I was about to answer the teacher, but then I felt that I was about to cry, so I ran out of the classroom. Running into the toilet, I burst into tears. It was not clear to me what was happening and why everything became so bad with the arrival of Lily. Even the teacher allows herself such statements in my address. I lost my friends, their respect, and all this in less than a couple of weeks. And no one spoke to me, and I did not even know what my fault was. After calming down and waiting for the end of the lesson, I went to the classroom to get my backpack. I knew that everyone would go to PE, so I just wanted to take my things and go home. And least of all, I wanted to see my classmates. Coming closer to the classroom and at the very door, I involuntarily overheard the conversation. It was a conversation between our teacher and Lily, and they were talking about me. The teacher gloated that I ran away and promised Lily that I would not win the Olympiad and that Lily would become the ultimate champion. She laughed and said that their plan was working and only the final touch remained. I was so shocked. Pulling myself together, I quietly turned on the phone and I filmed the rest of their conversation. Arriving home, I sadly told my mother about my problems. My mom was very upset but supported me and said that if it was that hard for me, then she would transfer me to another school. Then I showed her the video I filmed of the two of them, not knowing what to do with it. Seeing this, my mother froze in surprise. She got up from the sofa and began to pace the room, nervously fiddling with her jacket. And then, gathering her courage, she loudly declared that she knew the reason for this whole situation. And all of it was because of herself. Mom sat down next to me and told me the story from which the whole puzzle began to slowly take shape. At school, my mom was an excellent student and was a member of the women's football team and was friends with the captain. They were inseparable as sisters. Everything was fine until the captain broke her leg during one of the training sessions and she was unable to participate in the competitions. They took my mom to replace her and left her as a captain, although she resisted. Mom's friend was terribly offended, and after that incident she stopped talking to my mom forever. And the most interesting thing is that the same friend is now my teacher. And after so many years, she decided to take revenge on my mother through me. The next day, my mom went to school to meet with my teacher and her ex-girlfriend. I don't know what they were talking about, but after that, our teacher wrote a letter of resignation. I think my mom threatened to release that video of their conversation. After that, everything fell into its place. Lily became quiet and my classmates again wanted to be friends with me. But this whole situation showed me who is who, and I focused only on studying, successfully graduated from high school, won all the competitions, and was invited to the best business school in the country. And, most importantly, there was a person in my life who always was next to me in difficult moments, and that person was my mother. So guys, take care of your mothers and appreciate them and say that you love them more often. If you like this story, then press the like button and write us something in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe.
Hey, I'm Nathan. I was born and grew up in Oklahoma, USA. I'm an ordinary boy, and I am in Midnight High School now. My life seemed quite normal until we got a new headmaster. It all happened very unexpectedly. The man who had been the headmaster of our school for the last 5 years was promoted and accepted a position at the Department of Education of the state. We were happy for him, but didn't know what to expect from the new headmaster. The school worked as usual until the new headmaster arrived. Well, it was the headmistress, actually. It was a woman who immediately showed everyone that things would change. She was strict, smart, and crafty. And maybe it would be fine if she weren't also my mother. Yeah, that's true. Imagine how I felt when I learned about this. My mom was a deputy headmistress at another school of the state, and when she was offered the new position, she took it. She thought it would be great to be a headmistress of the school where her son studied. Besides, it was career progression, and while it seemed perfect for her, it was hell for me. During the first month, everything was all right. No one knew that the new headmistress was my mother. She used her maiden name at work, but it didn't last for long though. Once at a gathering where all school children were present, she gave a speech and addressed me in front of everyone, saying that she would do her best to make the school where her son studied the most successful in the state. It was very humiliating. My classmates and other kids started giggling, laughing, whispering, and even making jokes about me. I knew that she didn't mean any harm, but damn it, I felt really uncomfortable to say the least. In that very moment, I realized that my quiet and measured life was over. Kids from school teased me, tried to embarrass me. There wasn't even one place where I could feel free. Girls whispered stuff behind my back and discussed me during lunch. My new life was a carousel of ridicule and disdain. I decided that I had to accept it and move on because there isn't anything in life that a person can't cope with. Luckily for me, my friends were still my friends. They never made jokes about me and supported me whenever a situation got too hard to deal with. But anyway, I felt lonely. Once at a school cafeteria, a couple of boys from another class began teasing me. It was their usual behavior, so I didn't pay attention at first. But they were more persistent than usual. 3 of them even sat at my table and kept saying all kinds of things to hurt me. It was too much, so I stood up and started defending myself. Then one of them said, "Guys, look at him. He's trying to get rid of us. You aren't capable of doing anything without your mommy." I was going to hit him when my mom entered the cafeteria. She said strictly, "How dare you, young man, to insult my son? Stop it and leave him alone. This kind of behavior will not be tolerated at this school." So the thing that I had been dreading just happened to me. She began protecting me. I think everyone understood that in this situation, my position was the worst. People started laughing at me. I heard them say, "He can't do anything without his mom." I got mad. I knocked over my tray and ran away. I came home late that day and immediately went to my room and locked the door so that my mom couldn't enter. I refused to go to school the next day, and for a few weeks I skipped lessons to avoid meeting my mother. I didn't know what to do, but I knew that it was too difficult for me to be at school. Of course, my mother knew that she had made a mistake when she protected me, but I understand that as a mom she couldn't do anything else in those circumstances. She wanted to apologize to me, but I didn't let her do that. Finally, one evening, both my parents entered my room without asking my permission and told me that I was wrong and that I had to respect my mother, talk everything over with her, and deal with a situation. But it sounded like I was to blame for what had happened. I couldn't bear it, so I ran out of the room, then left the house and found myself in the street. I was so hurt that I started running to feel better. I could barely see where I was moving to. It was therefore not surprising that I didn't notice how I ran out into the intersection and got hit by a car. I woke up the next morning and suddenly realized where I was. A white ceiling, a drip, pills. It was a hospital. I looked around and saw my parents, who seemed tired and miserable. I realized what had happened. I remembered everything. When my mother saw that I was awake, she came up to me and said how sorry they were. I began crying and told them that it was my fault and that I had to apologize to them. I got lucky. I had just a few broken ribs, bruises, and scratches, but I was alive. An hour later, my classmates came to visit me. They were sorry for having laughed at me and promised that they would never do that again. I smiled at them and said if they did something like that again, I'd tell my mother.